Okay, so yesterday we see about the few of them in this DDL. Okay, see what is SQL, what type of what is the use of the SQL. We see about the definition and the sub languages of the SQL, right? So like briefing about the yesterday's class. So DDL, data definition language, so which is used to define the database objects in the database. Okay, so the define in the sense, so we have the table is the database object. If you want to create the table, if you want to drop the table or alter the table, truncate the table, so renaming the table. So if you want to do these type of operations, we will go with the DDL commands. If you want to use this DDL, what are the things you, by using this DDL, you created the database objects. So if you want to use that, we'll use the data manipulation language for this DML. Okay. So the usage will be inserting the data into the table. Now I created the some of the table like EMP. Okay. I'm going to create the employee table, and here I'm mentioning the employee number and the data type of this number, and the size I'm mentioning like a 4. Okay, so we have the employee name varchar2 of 10. Okay, see I said like I'm mentioning like char now for now. Okay, so wherever I'm using varchar, I'm using the char. Okay, number of 4, date, number, everything. See, this is the table I'm going to create in my schema now. Okay, in my schema now. Okay, so now I created this table and I'm going to insert the data into my table. So the syntax of the insert statement, insert into the column list, insert into column list, employee number, employee name, and job, MGR, hire date, and salary, commission, DPT, number, department name. See, insert into the table name and the column list. What are the columns? You need to insert the data into the table. So what are the columns? You're supposed to insert the data that you need to mention in the column list, and the values. So the value list you need to mention in the respective order. So if you are in the first position is employee number, so the employee number in B, it must and should be in the first position. Okay, so you need to give in the respective order of the column list. So which order you mention in the column list, the same order you need to provide the values. Okay, so this is one syntax. Okay, so this is one type of syntax which is used to mention the column list and value list. Okay, so another mechanism like, see, if you have 10 columns in your table, you need to provide in this particular syntax, you need to provide 10 column values in the respective order. See, the column values is optional. The column values is optional when you know the column order, how you created in the table. So when you know the column order, how you created at the DDL time, at the DDL time. So if you know that, you no need to mention the, so this 7499 is the employee number value. This employee name is the LN value. You no need to mention that. The system automatically understand that if you are giving the respective order how you created. Okay. So now you have like 10 columns in your column list. Okay, so then I supposed to insert only 2 column values. The rest I don't want to insert any value for that. So in such scenario, you cannot able to do insertion in this operation, in this syntax. Okay, you need to go with, see, I need to insert employee number, employee name, and the salary for this particular record. No need to mention any other values. Employee number, employee name, and hire date. And date. The 3 columns is nothing. Now see, this will help us to insert the data with the respective columns, not with all columns. So this syntax will help where we need to provide the value with the required columns. Okay. So this will help in that. Okay. So now if you want to give with all columns, you no need to mention all the column list in the column list. So if you don't know the order also, you need to provide the value, sorry, column list in this place. Okay. Now I'm going to insert the data. You can practice with more about this. Okay. Now I inserted the data into this table. See, we have 18 records in this. See, whichever we inserted for the 3 column values in the employee table. See, 7369 Smith, null, null, higher date value inserted. The rest it is by default, it will take the null values for that. Okay. See, now I don't want to provide the job name as a null for this particular record. I need to provide so job name as a salesman or accountant, something like I need to change this value, right? See, you inserted the data and we need to update the value in the EMP table. Update syntax will be to update the table, update table name, set column name equals to value. So if the where class is optional here, where, so condition, you need to provide any condition. So that I will explain you. Okay, this is the syntax we need to follow. Okay. See if update table. See, I'm going to mention update. Table name is EMP. Set, you need to set the value for which column you need to set the value. Job equals to clerk. Okay, clerk. Okay, if I do this operation, see, I'm saying simply job equal to clerk. If I do this, right? See, now I'm pinning this output and I'm updating the value using this update statement. This where class is optional. This where class is optional. Now see, the 18 rows got updated. 18 rows not updated. See what happened in your actual table. See, for all the employees, the job has been changed as a clerk because you are saying like kindly provide the salary hike for kindly provide the hike 20%. So simply your manager said like 20% to the HR. But so to whom that you need to provide that you haven't mentioned that. So for that reason, HR is managed like so I'm going to provide a hike for all the employees in the particular table. Okay. See, you simply mentioned like job equal to clerk. So to whom you haven't mentioned, right? So for that reason, by default, it will go for it applies for all the employees, right? So now I'm rollbacking it. See, I'm using this command like a rollback. See, now we have this data, right? Now I'm rollbacking this. See, rollback and check this data again. See, the data has been changed. The existing data has came back to this position. See, here, whatever the DML we are performing, the DML operation, we can call it as a transaction. See, treat like I say, if you take some bank, so if you go for the bank, so if anyone is having the bank account, like if you want to deposit the money or withdraw the money, like see, if someone is asking your friend, if you ask like, so where are you going? So I'm going for to do some bank transaction. To do some bank transaction. That may be a withdrawal of the money or deposit of the money, such kind of, right? So if you are doing the deposit in the bank, what will happen in the treat like I say, this is your account info table and this is your transaction table. Okay. Now this account table will having the account number, name, maybe current balance, 100, 200. Okay. So AC type, AC type, and there may be address and all those things you may have saving account, real time account, or current account like this. Okay. Now this transaction table will contain TRAN ID. Okay. Then TRAN date, TRAN type, amount. So you may have like a branch code and which branch you did. Branch code, ATM ID. You may have a lot of columns in the transaction table. For now, we are going to see this particular information. Okay. Now, see if the accounts has been opened in this particular branch like SR Nagar or Kukatpalli branch street like that. Kukatpalli. Okay. So now the account holder one or A, okay, A person is went for the bank and to do some deposit in this. Okay. See the transaction ID may be 101 and tran date will be sys date. See sys date in the sense what is the current date we have. What is the day of today that we are going to mention here. So simply you are mentioning like 02 CT October 22 and tran type is a deposit in the sense you will make it as a D. Okay, then the amount 1000, right? Then the branch code maybe so 123 is your branch code. ATM ID will be 0 or blank. Okay. Now see if you did this insertion, see you are doing some deposit. So what will happen? So you are going to insert some entry about that particular transaction in your transaction table automatically. So if you are inserting this information in this, I need to update the account balance as well in this table. Okay. See if I am doing like okay, here we need to mention account number as well. Account number is 1. See whatever the transaction you are performing in the transaction table, if it is a deposit, I'm going to add current balance of this particular account number. So I will take this account number and will go to this table and where account number equals to 1. So update account info table set current balance equals to set current balance equals to the logic will be like this. See now the balance need to be update. Okay, see how we can mention simply current balance plus this amount. Now you will get the 1100 for this. In case if it is a withdrawal, so now you can mention like now if it is a withdrawal case for the second account, okay. See if it is a withdrawal case for the second account, you need to do minus 800. See you need to insert the data into this table. You are inserting one entry into the transaction table. At the same time, you are updating the information in this account table, right? This is what is happening for these type of insertion and updation. You are calling as a transaction. So usually you are calling as a transaction at your end. The same we are calling as a transaction. See what are the things you are doing, the insertion, either updation or deletion. Everything we can call it as a transaction. So you got it right. Why we need to call it as a transaction? A transaction, any DML operation, we can call it as a transaction. Okay. Now the transaction you are performing, right? So you are doing some deposit or withdrawal, and you provided 1 lakh cash to the bank counter. Okay. So the banker is trying to validate the amount. See, before validating the, so he may enter the transaction details. So he did like 500, 100 and something like the transaction narrations and everything had checked, and he is trying to do the transaction. He did the transaction entry, and he's verifying the transaction currency chest, the currency notes. Okay, so all the notes has been provided the fake currency or the correct proper correction. Real money or the fake currency. Okay, so in such case, he got some doubt on the particular note. Okay, so see if it is the fake note, so he founded that. So he have the option if he don't have the like another note to take that particular amount to reach that particular amount 1 lakh. Okay, treat like a 1,000 has been short or something like. Okay, so the banker is having the facility to cancel the transaction. If everything looking good for him, he will submit the transaction to this, right? So what the thing will happen at the back end? See, if he is submitting the transaction, in the sense he's committing the transaction into the system. See, now I'm updating this, right? Or inserting anything. Okay. See, now I'm not doing anything here. So simply now delete from EMP where job equals to, sorry, job is none. See, that I will explain later. See, for now I am deleting the first record from this. Okay. Now check this. Check this. I deleted the first record. Earlier we have the 18 records, right? Earlier we have 18 records. Now the transaction. I verified it by mistakenly. I supposed to delete this Smith record. So 7902, which is having the second record. So by mistakenly, I deleted this. In the sense, now I'm doing the transaction, the note verification happening through the banker, and he has some doubt of the some of the notes. Okay, so now I'm giving the option to roll back, to cancel the transaction, to cancel the pending transaction. Now the transaction is not committed, not yet committed. Now I'm giving the option to cancel the transaction. Now I cancelled it. Cancelled in the sense roll back. So now you can see this. Now the transaction came back here, right? Now, now I'm deleting this data again. Now I verified it actually. I supposed to delete this particular record only. Yeah, everything like all the nodes has a valid node. He provided by the customer is provided. All are the valid nodes. Now he need to be committed, right? He need to be committed. See now the commit is completed. Now the banker is did the transaction, all the currency haven't verified it actually. So he haven't verified it, and he committed the transaction without validating this. See, after committing his person, like he's trying to do the rollback option. He's trying to do the cancel. I'm doing like multiple times cancel. See, you don't have option to cancel after committing the transaction. The banker does not have authority to roll back the transaction once it get committed, right? See, for that, if you want to do anything back, right, the customer need to agree. Then only these people can able to do. So without a customer permission. You cannot touch anything in the bank. Okay. See, now still we have this option. So some of things we can able to do. Now we did the deletion, right? This we are calling as a transaction. Any DML operation, we can call it as a transaction. To control this or to control this particular transactions, we'll use one type of language that we can call it as a TCL. That we are calling as a TCL, transaction control language, which help us to handle the DML operations or to control the DML operations. We'll use the transaction control language. See, the transaction in the sense DML operation, either insert, update, delete. Okay. Now we use the commit and rollback. Commit will help us to save this transaction. Rollback will help us to cancel the transaction. Right. Now we see delete the syntax. See, now I am using this delete from the table. Delete from table name. Now, haven't mentioned anything. Simply whole data got deleted from this table. You can verify. All the data got deleted from this. All the data got deleted. Now I'm going to roll. Okay. So we have the option to roll back or to control, right? Now I'm doing some DML operation, simply delete from table name. The whole data is getting deleted. So to control or to delete the particular record, I need to delete. So I need to delete only the 7369. That you need to mention in the where class. So where class is used to filter the data from the table. So filter. See, now I'm mentioning like employee number equals to 7369. 7369. See, instead of deleting the 18 records or 17 records, now it is now it got deleted only 2 records. Now you can verify this. All the records are deleted correctly or not. Now it has deleted the 2 delete records. I mean two got deleted. I need to cancel this. Okay. Again I roll back. Now the data is came back. Okay. Now I'm doing the here, right? So now I'm updating the things into my table, and I'm doing the deletion from the table. Okay. See, now if I use the rollback, now, I did the 2 transactions as a one transaction. So 2 individual transactions, I made it here, right? Now if I use the commit or rollback, if I use the commit or rollback, all the transaction get be committed, or if I use the rollback, all the transaction got rolled back. I mean 7369 will be came back, and the job will be came back to the original job description, right? See, now I'm verifying it simply. Now you can verify in the EMP table. See, earlier we have 15, now we have the 17 records, 7369 came back, and the job description also changed, right? So now this is happened. Now if you are doing like hundreds of transactions at a time, see, now you are verifying the data. So the data, if you use the commit or rollback, right? See, in the verification time, you got some miscellaneous transaction or wrong transaction you inserted in this. See, if you are doing like that, now if you use the commit or rollback, so the unwanted transaction also get committed, or the valid transactions also get rolled back, right? So instead of doing that, so make it as a save points for this. Make it as a save point. See, here we have the save point option. See, if you are doing any work, see, treat like as a bank example only. See, the banker will start the business at 10 a.m. and ends with the 5 p.m. Okay. See, instead of doing the a whole day as a one transaction. So you can separate these transactions every 2 hours as a one group or one save point. Okay. See, to do that, now I'm doing like I say save point S1. Sorry, save point S1 is created. Save point S1 is created. Now I'm trying to delete this DML operation. Two records got deleted, and I'm creating the save point S2, and I'm performing this DML operation update. Now you can verify the data in your table. The data, whatever the data you did it, the same. 15 records got out of 17, you deleted the two records, and now we have the 15. So all the 15 records you updated as a clerk, job as a clerk. The data look like this. If I use the rollback here, if I use the rollback, the whole transaction get be rolled back. No use if I use a save point also here. No use if I use a save point here also, right? Now I'm creating the save points again, and I'm deleting the data back, and I'm creating save point S2, updating it. Now instead of rollback, see, now I'm thinking like I need to roll back this last transaction only, not this, not this. So for that, instead of rollback, use rollback to option, rollback to, rollback to S2. Mention the save point name, mention the save point name. So now the rollback has been completed. See, it look like as a rollback completed. It's a rollback to, not a normal rollback. Now you can verify. So you need to have the table like 17 records. What happened here? Okay, sorry. Here we deleted the data. See, out of 17, we deleted two records, 15 we have, and you created the save point and you made it at the updation like a job as a clerk, right? Now this updation has been rolled back. The deletion will be same. The deletion will be same. Now, if I use the rollback again, because you haven't committed this particular transaction, the deleted transaction, you haven't committed it. If I use the rollback, the two transactions also get rolled back. If we use the commit, the two transaction permanently deleted. Now I use the rollback. You can see now 17 records we have. See, the save point will help us to split the transactions into the multiple parts. Instead of performing group of transaction as a one transaction, you can split the transactions into the multiple parts, multiple parts. So that help us to see if we have hundreds of transactions. So and see, every 2 hours you are making as a one group and one save point, and you verified the transaction by EOD, and so before going the lunch, you verified from morning to the afternoon time till the pre-lunch. All the transactions are, you haven't done any mistake. All the transactions correctly performed. Okay. Now after performing the after post lunch, you whatever the transaction you did, something you missed or something you did like wrong. Okay. See, now you if you use the commit or rollback, all the valid transactions get be rolled back, all the invalid transactions also get committed. Okay. Instead of that, we will use save point with rollback to option, with rollback to option. So that help us to cancel the part of the transactions. The 100 so see this 100 transaction as a one 5 parts. Now you can able to cancel the last 20 transactions, last 40 transaction, last 60. So you cannot able to see like we have 5 sessions. You cannot able to roll back particular 3 only. So the rollback 2 works from last transaction to the whatever the transactions you need to roll back for that particular position, it will be happen. The save point or rollback will work for this. Okay. Now we haven't seen about this merge command and truncate. We'll see. And we have this another option like a data control language. The data control language will help us to provide the access. Now I'm trying to, now I created my employee table, right? So now in my database, I have the HR user and batch 14 also, right? Now I'm trying to select the data, select star from EMP. See, it is showing like a table or view does not exist. The same command I am using here, select star from EMP, because I purchased my car. I purchased my car and haven't provided any access on my car to any other person. Meaning, see, if you have HR is the owner for this EMP table, HR is the owner for this, EMP table owner is the HR. Okay. Now, if you want to use the HR components, the HR need to provide the access to the any other users. Now, if you want to provide the access, if you want to provide the access, use the data control language to provide the privilege, necessary privileges to provide the privilege or permission. Simply grant, select on EMP2 batch 14. See, grant permission type, whether I need to use this, whether I need to um, read only permission I need to give, in the sense the select permission on the table. Select will help us to retrieve the data from the table. Select command. See, the select command is only one, is a king command for this table. Data query language or data retrieval language, DQL or DRL. This language will help us to retrieve the data from the table. If you want to retrieve the data from the table, we need to use the select command for this. Select star from the table. Here we are using like a select star from table name, right? The star represent all the columns of the table, all the columns of the table. See, whatever the respective order you created the table, in the respective order, the column sequence will be displayed in the results. If we use, see how we are mentioning in the insert into table name of column list. If you haven't provided the column list, it will try to insert for the all the columns, right? See now, if I mention like employee number, employee name, it displays the required column information only in the select table or select statement. Select statement will help us to retrieve the data from the table. If you mention the star, it represents all the columns of the table. If you mention the required columns, it display the required column information from the table, right? Now you are trying to select the data and you are providing the access. So this is the permission you are going to mention in this place. The select permission can read only the table. I mean, you can retrieve the data from the table. You cannot able to do any action on this table. Now I'm providing this access, select access. Now the grant has been successful. Now try to access this table. Still, the table or view does not exist. Still, it is giving the same error because, so I mentioned like this is my car. You can use for your purpose. So just I provided in that way. So you are saying like this is my car. So you are doing like this is my car and over build up something like, okay. In such place, in such place, say if it is a Zoom car, you will represent your brand on your car, right? See, if you are taking someone valuable thing or someone like some object from any other person, in such place, you need to mention that particular owner name of that particular object. See, you are using like a EMP table of HR user. So this is the referencing of the owner name of that any database object. You need to take the reference of, yes.
Okay, Shiva, I have one doubt. Okay, so you have mentioned as we have given permission to another user. So in order to give access, he has to mention the username. That's what,
Yes,
right?
in order to access of other user components, you always need
Okay.
to be take the reference of that owner name prior of your
Okay.
object name. This is the owner name. So this is
Yeah.
the employee table of HR user.
Yeah, yeah. No, right now we have given the access of the table to another user, right? Like batch
Yes.
14 also
Batch
got the
14.
grant permissions. Yes.
Yes.
So
He got the access.
as we are select, yeah. So now he also got the access. So just by giving the employee, it is not getting data because it has two users are having the permission. For what user, for which user we have to
No, no,
give the
no, no. See,
data for other. Mm,
see, now you see if you haven't mentioned this HR schema name in this position. So you are
yeah.
taking the car from some X person and Y person. So
Okay.
treat like as a
Okay.
X person given the car for you, okay, and you
Okay.
are using that car, okay,
Okay.
in the particular user. So if you are in this
Okay.
place, if you are in the
Yeah.
X person place and you can able to use that car directly because the owner is
Okay.
beside for you,
Okay.
right? If you are in
Okay.
your
Okay.
place, if you are in your place, that you need to mention this car is not belonging to me. This car is belonging to X
Okay.
person.
Okay. 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 Like the owner of the car is a HR firm.
HR.
So in
Yes.
order to get the data from, as though he has given the permission, we need to mention his name before that
Yes. Yes.
in order to access. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not the public component, right? It's a private component of him. So if you want to make it
Okay.
as a
Okay. Done.
public, right? Now you mention only the select access. Here you
Okay.
provided, so you can use my car. Don't provide car to the any
Any
other person's
updations?
rent kind. Treat like as a rent or
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, treat like as a insertion permission is the rent giving the rent. Okay. So now we
Okay.
have you provided the table access, right? To read. If you want to write the access, now you need to provide the insert. See now, just I provided, so I just provided use my car, don't sell my car.
Okay. Okay.
Now
Like
I
no,
provided the
no
access.
other updations. Okay.
Yeah, insert into hr.emp. So now I'm mentioning the column list, a table, a column name. So just I'm providing for only one column. Okay, values 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can mention with all columns also. So if you provide one column also giving the same. Okay. See, because this user is having the admin access, so he can able to directly accessing this component actually.
Okay.
He is the admin, right? We provided yesterday batch 14 as an admin user.
Yes. Yes.
So he may access all the other all the users of the components as admin level. So he's a boss.
Okay.
You got it, right? So I cannot
Yeah. Yeah.
able to
No.
roll back him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's because we have given him as an admin, so he's able to insert the data into the table.
Yes.
If he wasn't the, if he has not been the admin, he was just a user, then he won't be able to unless and until HR person give the permission, right?
Yes. Now I am trying
Okay.
to use my table in this particular table. So table or view does not exist. User 13. This is the user 13.
Okay.
See, I haven't provided access him, right? See, he's not the admin
Yes. Yes.
actually. He's not the admin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
trying to provide user 13.
Okay.
I provided the simply insert permission, not the select permission.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now I am trying to retrieve the data from my table. It is showing the insufficient privileges. If I am trying to insert the data,
Because
it
first
is
he has to
allowing,
get the grant permission.
yes.
Okay.
If you want to do the insert permission, you need to provide insert privilege. If you want to provide a select access, use the select privilege, update, delete, truncate. See all the privileges we have, what are the privileges we have? This all the commands, it work like I say privilege, insert, update, delete, commit, anything.
Okay. Okay.
If you want, instead of providing one by one to the person, so simply go with all. This contain the
Okay.
These contain 11 permissions. This contains the 11 permissions. You can see the things in this place. Right click on the table, go to for the grants tab, grants.
I
See,
have one more doubt.
these are all the privileges of this. These are the privilege types: alter, delete, index, insert. So you can see like some of them you already know: insert, select, alter,
Yeah.
delete command. Hmm? The referencing of these all things I will let you know. If you not know, the rest you will get to know by next classes automatically. Hmm?
Okay. Okay. For rollback and commit, I have a small doubt here. Like for the rollback command, we do like only for a particular transaction. If we want to get back, we use rollback, right?
No, no, no.
If we
If I
want to
use the
like after.
rollback, if I use the rollback, what are the pending transactions we have? All the transactions get be rolled back.
Okay. Okay. Not only the
Or
particular transaction, all the
if you want to
transactions.
do like only the particular transaction, you need to use rollback to option, rollback to. That also
Oh,
won't be happen for the single transaction. If it is the last transaction, it works for the single transaction. If it is the middle of the transaction, from last transaction to till that middle of transaction, all the transaction get be rolled back.
okay. Okay.
You, you,
Okay.
you,
Sure.
you can do some practice. Definitely, you will get some more doubts. I will
Yeah.
let
Okay.
you know
Sure. Sure.
definitely.
Yeah. Sure. 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 Yeah.
Just 1 second. I need to put charging. Okay. So now see, we provided the access. See, I'm like provided the access to user 13. So to read the data only. Okay. He's doing some miscellaneous of my components. Okay. So instead of requesting him, don't do this operation again and again. Okay. So I can cancel this permission. So give it back my car back to me, something like, right? So I'm able to provide the access in essence. I am able to cancel the access as well, right? So for that, I will use the revoke, revoke all, revoke all on table from which user. So to provide the access to whom you need to provide, to cancel the access from which user I need to cancel, that you need to mention here. Revoke all on table name from which user you need to roll back. Or sorry, not the rollback, revoke or cancel the permission. So required privilege, whatever the privilege has provided by you that need to be cancelled. In the sense, I will go with the revoke command. If you want to provide the privilege or permission in such place, I will go with the grant command. Right? We done with almost all the commands. Now, now we haven't done with merge command that I will explain. Now I'm going to explain about truncate. Okay, truncate command. See, truncate command will help us see you are deleting the data from the table. Now I came back to my original user HR. And now I'm trying to select the data into the EMP. We have 17 records. Now I'm deleting the data. Delete from EMP where employee number equals to 7369. Now I'm able to delete two records from the table or one record from the table or all the records from the table, right? Now I'm able to delete all the records also simply, right? So by using delete command, you are able to delete the data. Few records also you can able to delete or total records also you can able to delete. See, whereas in the truncate, you don't have option to use any where classes. Truncate table EMP where employee number equals to 7369. Invalid truncate option. Storage keyword, missing storage keyword. So it is giving the error. You don't have option to use the where class in the truncate. So the truncate command will completely delete the data. Now you are getting the error. Resource busy acquiring with no wait specified or timeout expired. See here you need to observe like see now you are doing a transaction at the Kukatpalli branch. Okay, now you are trying to deposit some money. Okay, so the banker is trying to do the calculations like you provided 1 crore of cash and he is trying to deposit the money. He is validating this. See, he is trying to open the transaction. He is trying to open your details, right? Now, to calculate this particular the currency notes and everything to validate that particular thing, it may take at minimum 10 minutes of time, right? So that in the span of this 10 minutes time, you cannot able to do any other transactions, any other branches or any net banking also, you cannot able to do any transaction on that particular time. So because your account has been already opened in some place that has not committed, that has not cancelled. I mean, you haven't the transaction not yet completed. So you are in the open mode. So the transaction has not yet completed. So you are trying to do the same time with some other branches. The account has been locked. You need to wait for that particular account. So this is what it is explained. Resource busy acquiring with no wait specified or timeout expired. So the transaction is already in process. You cannot able to do this. So the prior of whatever the transaction he is doing, the transaction you are doing in this particular place. In this is the SR Nagar branch. This is the Kukatpalli branch kind. Okay. Now you need to use either rollback or now you can do this. Now you can able to do this. Truncate. 1 minute. Maybe in some more places also we have committed and commit. Now you can do maybe. See what are the places you are trying to do the DML operations. That place you need to use the commit or rollback. If you haven't used the commit or rollback, the table get be locked. No one cannot able to do any DDL operations. No one cannot able to do any other actions. You will get the resource busy error. Okay. So try to practice with this and we'll see the things by tomorrow about the data types and everything. Okay. I'm going to stop here.